All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. More complexity casting action with your host Beef. Going to be bringing you HoN Tour Diamond Division number 3, winners round 1, game 3 in this best of 3 series. So that's a lot of threes. That's a lot of games. That's a lot of HoN Tour. Guys, thank you for joining me. We did see pencils in the last game with a freaking awesome pushing strategy. Caught complexity way off guard, and unfortunately, complexity didn't have the response. So Pencils forces a game 3, and that is where we stand. Complexity making a comeback in game 1, not quite able to in game 2. Are they going to fall behind early? Are they going to come back late? That's what we're here to decide in game number 3, guys. Let's get it on. Blind bans going out. Fade and Parasite for the Legion team. Once again, standard bans here from B-Kid. Keeper of the Forest and Fade being banned by Pencils. The standard Keeper of the Forest Hellborn ban. And then, of course, Fade. Neither team wants to see her in her fearsome map presence be made. And, well, not going to be seeing it this time. Lockpicking stage. First lock, Wild Soul. B-Kid saying, hey, you forgot to blind ban Wild Soul. And Pencil's saying, oh crap, we forgot to blind ban Wild Soul. And they have first pick. So one of two things just happened. Pencil's just made a big mistake, or Pencils is baiting that Wild Soul pick, and they have a strategy to deal with that Wild Soul pick. Knowing Pablo Mcdad, I actually think it might be the latter. He is a very, very calculating player, so he might be perhaps going for that strategy, just going to try to bait that Wild Soul, knowing that with first pick, Complexity will almost always go for that, and then try to counter it with something. So also joining Wild Soul in the lockpicking stage is going to be Tempest and Bubbles out for Pablo Mcdad, Ophelia and Legionnaire, and then a Warbeast finishes it out. So Warbeast, a hero that we've seen quite a bit recently, and he's getting pretty dang popular and pretty dang strong. Legionnaire, of course, also another big one of the jungling heroes that's made a big splash lately. Ophelia always been there with Tempest, and of course the suicide hero Bubbles makes his way in once more again. We'll see if he gets picked up for the first time in this series. Banning stage. B-Kid chooses to ban out Engineer, Zephyr, and Draconis, so does not want to get the bird once again. Engineer and Draconis being banned out, so gets rid of one of the strong carries as they're just blowing through this picking stage. The Engineer not going to be banning out Pebbles this time, so they banned it out in the last game, but not too afraid of him in this game. We'll have to see what they go for in a second, as Pencil chooses out to ban Pebbles this time, so there you go. That makes more sense. Tundra and Meraxis, so eliminating a lot of the initiation heroes from the pool. It's going to be interesting to see what Complexity goes for instead. Very, very interesting, though. Let's take a look at the first pick. It was, in fact, Wretched Hag from Complexity. So going with her for the third time in this series, it's a hero that Complexity has been very, very fond of in recent months, and choosing to go with her once again. Nymphora over here on the other side, going to be joining up with Magnus. So already you've got an extremely strong middle lane combination between those two heroes. The global presence afforded to Nymphora by her ultimate will also put a damper on any kind of farming that one of these stronger carries or passive farmers from the Complexity team might have. So looking at Complexity's lineup already, Jeraziah, Aluna, and Wretched Hag. They've got a strong solo there with Wretched Hag. If they lane Jeraziah and Aluna together, that means they could run a Suicide plus a jungle. And that's kind of what I feel like they're going to do. Maybe something like the Wild Soul plus Legionnaire combination, and then have B-Kid run Jeraziah, Aluna on Franzi, or Franzi on Aluna. They do pick up the Wild Soul as expected. Pablo Mcdad's team, they responded with Torture, and then they are going to be able to take 2 out of the lock pool here. I would expect Tempest, and I think I would expect Bubbles. In fact, that's what I'm going to go with. Tempest, Bubbles. They're going to go with Ophelia instead of Tempest. Just kidding. They're going to go with Ophelia and Tempest. So they're going to be running a Suicide Tempest here. And this has been debated to death whether that is actually a good strategy. By the way, we're going to either have Warbeast or... you know what? I don't even know. They're going to be running a Jungle Wild Soul here. And I disagree with this decision. I think that they should be running a Suicide Wild Soul with a Jungle Legionnaire, perhaps. But you know what? Complexity, B-Kid, he knows a lot better than I do. And so that is what they're going to run with. GLHF comes out, and guys, we're going to be getting into this game here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do it, guys. HoN Tour, winners round 1, game 3. Pencils or coL, one of them is going to be advancing. We'll find out right here, right now, as the Pride Jeremiah avatar is employed by B-Kid. It's kind of cool. He's a pretty boy, that's for sure. Looks kind of like the Justin Bieber avatar for Shadowblade. Doesn't flip his hair nearly as much, though. So, yeah, Pencil is going to be going into their lanes with the Suicide Tempest. And once again, this is something that's been debated for a long time. Whether or not this is actually a good role for this hero, I don't think it is. I think that going with the Bubbles and then the Tempest in the jungle would have been better. Tempest is going to be able to farm a little bit better than Ophelia. Not going to have as strong of an early presence as Tempest goes for the ward and is able to get it down just in time. Not too much pressure being applied there by the opposing team. Not a whole lot of early level 1 stuns. In fact, the only level 1 stun they could have had was a Luna, as there are 2 stuns at all on this Legion team. Bubbles with his Kelp Field does have a stun, and of course Luna with her Emerald Lightning has a stun, but Complexity rolling very, very low on stuns as opposed to their opposing team, actually. With Tempest, Glacial Blast, he's got 3 right there. You got the Elemental Void, which could be considered a stun. You've got the Zeal and the Lava Surge, as well as the Chain Reaction, and then whatever creeps that Ophelia might have, she's got stuns from those, as well as Boo Boo takes a ton of pressure there from 3 ranged heroes in the jungle. So Complexity, they're really banking hard on being able to get about a 15 to 18 minute Mock of Brilliance on Wild Soul, and then they're banking hard on the Jeremiah Wretched Hag combo. This is an old school combo from about a year and a half ago. People started really liking this. You get a Null Stone on Wretched Hag, and then you get a Protective Charm on her, and she's just able to move around for 15 seconds, just completely unimpeded by magic damage, magic stun, anything along those lines. Bubbles is taking a lot of pressure here from Nymphora. Of course, without being able to secure that early lane advantage for Bubbles, he's going to have a hard time in this 1v2 lane going up against the Magmist Nymphora in the short lane. Torturer, likewise, is going to have a relatively hard time against Jeremiah in the middle, as I like this Jeremiah's attack animation right here. It's kind of cool. It looks like a very, very strong swing. The Zeal Stun does connect right there. A couple of hits on B-Kid, and Nymphora taking a lot of pressure here. Does take the Shell Surf, but B-Kid chooses to port to it and will be able to escape. He's going to be able to live another day. Potion going to be able to bring him back up to full. Live to die another day. It's a combination of 2 Bond titles right there. Live and let live and die another day, right? I was having an extensive conversation about James Bond movies last night, and I said that I liked Moonraker. And my buddy said that I was absolutely dumb, that Moonraker was terrible. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Tweet at me at BeefPopPie1. Let me know if Moonraker was actually a decent movie or if I'm crazy with nostalgia. As Bubbles is going to be there. Nice job from the Complexity team. Actually setting up a beautiful kill there on Relo in the middle lane. Invisible Ophelia walking by with their Skeleton King, but that was very, very well played. B-Kid doing a little bit of rotation. I saw him come over in this area and I thought he was just going to buy an extra potion. In fact, went for that kill in the middle lane. As Jeremiah is taking a lot of pressure here, uses the Inner Light, and will that be enough? Where are the auto attacks? No auto attacks just yet. Nice Emerald Lightning. Should be able to save his teammate. Great job there from Luna. Health Potion comes in. Might even need those Runes of the Blight as well. He's probably saying, Peter, give me your Runes of the Blight. And he will get them. Wretched Hag in the bottom lane going up against Suicide Tempest. Actually, Suicide Tempest is doing very well. Now, this is one of the problems with Wild Soul. You don't have an active jungler in him, and you also don't have a super strong early farmer. You don't have a Tempest that's able to get to 350 gold per minute extremely easily. You have a Wild Soul. that once he hit, say, 10 minutes into the game, and he's able to get level 6, then he's going to be able to start farming at about 300 gold per minute. But until he gets that Mock of Brilliance, until he's able to start taking down double and triple stacked Ancients, and until he's able to start knocking down towers, his farm is going to be in that 250 to 300 gold per minute range. So Chessie going to be falling behind perhaps the Ophelia, who might be able to get some kill involvement here. Might be able to get some tower involvement as well. And the free farming Magnus up here in the top lane. Well, Torture is going to be taking some pressure. Nice job there. Another great combination from the tri-lane here in the middle lane. Nymphora and Ophelia revealed themselves, but not able to put out any pressure onto the enemy team. Bottom lane, Wretched Hag actually takes some pressure from the Glacial Blasts of Tempest. If we take a look at the last hitting down there in the bottom lane, it is in fact 14-8 for Tempest, whereas Wretched Hag's only at 10-4, so Tempest doing a great job. Problem being, he's out of mana now. And now that he's out of mana, he's not going to be able to use the Glacial Blast for harassment. He's not going to be able to use the Elemental minions for actually assisting with last hits and harassment. And Wretched Hag should start to take an advantage in this lane with that Ring of the Teacher finished up already. Tempest, on the other hand, will be able to fly out some regen here relatively soon if that's what he wants to do. Not doing it just yet, though. Jeraziah picks up a bottle in the middle lane. Franzi going to be able to run that. Trying to get some runes here at some point. 6-minute rune up in about a minute. Guys, I'm pretty good at math. You should be impressed. So, both teams just kind of content to farm. B-Kid is really what I'm worried about right now for the Complexity team. Level 2 bubbles, not unheard of in that suicide position. But this free farming Magnus up here, Sweet Pro, once again for 3 games in a row, is starting to get pretty out of hand. At 356 gold per minute, he does not quite have the lead that Moonmander does in the middle lane on Jeraziah, as he's at 400 gold per minute. But is your Jeraziah going to pick up a Blink Dagger? Going to pick up that portal key and be able to just demolish team fights, set up ganks? No, he might pick up a portal key, but it's going to be to get into position, drop heal bombs, and get great positioned Souls ultimates. We'll see, we'll see. Looks like right now he's actually just going to be rushing toward a Ring of Sorcery, which is a proper decision in my opinion. Sweet Pro choosing not to level up his Volcanic Touch in this lane, as Ophelia actually tried to use her Judgment there to actually send the Vagabond Leader home. Wasn't quite able to get it off though, and in the end the Vagabond Leader does fall at the hands of the tower. With the dead Vagabond Leader, there's no more push coming out here in the top lane. Hellcannon is going to start to pound at the tower, but Bubbles will be able to stay safe here behind the tower and soak up some experience, get some last hits when he can. And this will be the start of the recovery here for B-Kid. 6-minute Ring of Sorcery plus Boots bottle for Jeraziah. And looking pretty stupid good farmed, using the inner light to actually bring himself back up on HP. And Wretched Hag in the bottom lane starting to look good herself. Currently sitting at 213 gold per minute as opposed to the 240 of Tempest. But now that she is level 6 and has a Luna next to her, might try to set something up on the Tempest. Have to be very cautious with the Tempest Elemental Void though. Might be turned around upon very, very easily. And we'll see if they do actually go in right here. Wretched Hag does come in. There's the haunt. And nice spread right there. The power throw not being used just yet. No, it actually has been used already. And Wretched Hag choosing not to pursue. Instead saying, okay, just go home. I'm just going to free farm this lane while you're gone. And like we so often see, level 2 haunt. Going to save the Bat Blast and actually get at level 8. With the Bat Blast, we would have actually been able to finish off Tempest in that bottom lane, but choosing to go a little bit different. A Chain Reaction Stun does hit in the middle lane before not choosing to follow up with the Zeal. Unfortunately, did not have the cooldown ready for it. Very passive game here so far. Bubbles roaming mid, securing the only 2 kills in the game thus far, with Complexity taking an early lead in that respect, but falling behind in terms of golden experience. Ophelia doing very well in her jungle, 280 gold per minute, about 40 higher than Chessie in his jungle, who had actually fallen back Well, Torture might be in a little bit of trouble. Haste Rune activated by Wretched Hag. Power Throw goes out. There's the Sonar Scream. Haunt is applied. Auto attacks coming out, but Tempest turns it around. He's going to drop the Glacial Blast. Torture wants to make something happen here. Elemental Void comes out. A great stun, though. And now they're going to try to turn it around onto Tempest. Elemental, or Inner Light, actually being used there to actually try to snag a kill. Nice job, though, for Magmus. He's able to pick up the kill onto Franzi. Will he be able to find Moon Meander and B-Kid as well? Not going to just yet. There's the stun onto Jereziah. Jereziah in some serious trouble. Activates the Soul's Blessing. Will he be able to get out of there? There's the Glacial Blast. No protective charm just yet. There it is. But a nice stun from Skeleton Kings. And Jereziah is in some serious trouble. He goes down, and Pencils turns it around for 2 kills after using a lot of cooldowns and a lot of time to pick up those 2 kills. But well worth it. Trading Jereziah and Franzi for nothing, right? No, they did pick up Torture. Chessie was, in fact, able to pick up Torture. Hactrin, excuse me. They switch around their heroes so much. Hag is played by B-Kid, Chessie, and Hactrin now. So, they switch it around so much, and they just like to confuse me. The same thing with Meraxes, Moon Meander, B-Kid, and Hactrin all play that hero. It's kind of ridiculous how versatile these players are. Magnus picks up a 9-minute portal key to go with his Ghost Marchers. No mana regen items on him yet. I would really like to see a Ring of Sorcery on the Magnus. They do have Nymphora, of course, who does have level 2 Grace of the Nymph active. But without that really, really strong mana regen inherently, Magnus won't be able to farm as fast, won't be able to use the Lava Surge and the Portal Key to actually farm. And that's something that I'd like to see him making use of. He's going to pick up a double damage. It's going to give Chessie a hand here in the jungle. But Chessie, he's still falling behind, perhaps. He's 250 gold per minute, but Ophelia at 272 has also gotten some involvement in some kills, put out some pressure, helps push the tower. And so Chessie, once he gets his Mock of Brilliance at, say, about 17, 18, 19 minutes into this game, he's going to need to start pushing towers with it. He's going to need to start getting very, very involved with kills. And Pencils, choo-choo. The Bub Train's here. 4 players active in the bottom lane. This defensive tower is going to be traded. Complexity instead turning their attention toward the middle lane, pushing out with the bear, and Jereziah dropping Inner Light Bombs on top of that bear. Going to be able to bring down this tower relatively fast. But a nice job of turtling up here with Torture. The Complexity team a little bit scared to actually commit to this. Not sure if maybe a Portal Key on Magnus or a Portal Key on Tempest is lurking just around the corner. But as the tower goes down in the bottom lane, Complexity needs to even up the situation lest they fall further and further behind. More Inner Lights on the bear, and this time all 4 players from the Complexity team look like they're going to square their shoulders and just take the tower to the ground. Protective Light on Jereziah, trying to find Torture, but a nice job from Relo, going down rather than up, and he is able to find safety in the river. Bottom tower taking a lot of pressure as one port is going to be coming in. It is in fact Jereziah, level 7. Zepro could be in position with a Portal Key Lava Surge, and they might be able to take him down before backup arrives, but instead they're just going to focus on the tower for now. Protective Charm is there in a nice attempt to deny, but Moonman not quite able to bring it to even, and well, Lava Surge goes off on a Luna right there. Chain Reaction stuns as well, and Franzi's going to be taking a fall. That's his 2nd of the game. Getting caught just perhaps a little bit out of position, but it's hard. When your only items to speak of are 2 minor totems and you're level 5 with no points in Deja Vu, yeah, it's kind of hard to stay alive if you're Luna. Pencils once again off to a decent lead. 2,000 gold. Very, very minimal in terms of experience. Big issue here is the bear. He's now 1,300 gold off from that Mock of Brilliance, and I really do like Pencil's idea here. They push out the bottom lane so that they can have free roam of their enemy's jungle, so that they can make it not safe for their opposing team to actually farm out on the heroes that they're going to need to farm out if they're going to be trying to get back into the game, which of course Plexi's always going to be trying to get back into the game. They're never just going to be giving up a game without a fight. And of course that jungle so important to Chessie on the bear. He's going to be farming that one up to actually get that Monk Brilliance, and with this double stack, he's going to be about halfway to that actual recipe. Middle tower going down in favor of Pencils. This is going to be 4 for them. Top and middle retain their tier 2, but as soon as those are pushed out, Flexi's going to have a hard time finding farm to support their Jerizaiah, their Hag, and their Bear. And as Zetpro's team does not look like they're going to be stopping anytime soon. Defensive tower taking some pressure. Hell Cannon in the back. A nice power throw going to connect on a lot of Ophelia minions, but immediately just activates that Astrolabe with Plated Greaves. And tower going to take a lot of pressure, but a nice job actually backing up for now. Going to wait for the rest of the team, or perhaps for the next creep wave before going in. Heal up just a little bit. Wait for cooldowns on the Astrolabe and the Plated Greaves. And Tempest, he's getting real close to a portal key of his own. Zetpro could lead the charge here with a nice Lava Surge. Red Power Throw going to go out and does connect with Zetpro. Lava Surge, though, going to find the Bear. And a Glacial Blaster there as well. Zealstun using a lot of stuff so far on the Bear. The Protective Charm will actually save him. So, that is one tanky Bear. Level 3 Bear. Of course, Wild Soul going for the natural attunement, maxed out first, and the middle tower going to be going down. Fine gets the last hit on Ophelia, and just like that, Tempest is able to get his portal key. What Moon was not able to do in 30 minutes in the last game, looks like Pablo McDad playing the Suicide Tempest is able to do in about 15. Of course, a lot of that comes down to being on the pushing side rather than the push E side. Wretched Hag trying to stay safe against this torture down here. But 6th tower already at about half life. More power throws going out. It's a lot of anti-push potential from a Luna. But Wretched Hag doesn't have the mana pool. Bubbles doesn't have the position right now to actually use his Shell Surf to do any more anti-pushing. So it's really up to a Luna to do that long-range anti-push. And she's doing a good job right now. Word of sight up here from Bassett's of the Pencils team is providing vision down to about this location right here. That's about where it stops, so they are able to see Luna and Jerizaiah, and they might be able to try to pick somebody off. Portal key is delivered on Tempest. But Tempest is able to get in there and land a big ultimate. They have a real strong chance of taking a team fight, taking a Rax. The complexity, they do not want to let that happen. Wretched Hag wants to get level 11, but is not going to be able to. Protective Charm goes out on Wretched Hag. She blinks in on top of Nymphora, applies the haunt, and defensive tower, nice deny there from Moon Meander, but it does go down. So, of course, the gold is a great thing for the Pencils team to have, but they also want that map control, the map vision, and that's what they get. Nymphora is sent home by Ophelia. We'll see if anybody else teleports home, and maybe Nymphora might teleport them back out. Nymph looks like she's just going to walk back out for now. As a Skeleton King joins her in the well. Going to be working on an Energizer, so an interesting pickup on Nymphora. Not going to be going for a Storm Spirit like we saw in the last game after her Steam Boots. But the Energizer will, of course, help out the Ophelia minions quite a bit. Going to be able to get everybody into position. And, of course, the 7, 10, 7 stats afforded to her by that Energizer, and the base movement speed for herself as well will be very, very nice to have. Magnus with 1,200 gold saved up. I have to imagine he has a little bit more than that saved up. But then again, he hasn't been farming extremely well. He is currently 77 and 32, which is actually pretty good, but hasn't been just solo farming a lane. They've been spending a lot of time just actually getting their push going. So I can understand why he doesn't really have a whole lot. Finished up the Grave Locket instead of a resource. It's about half the price, but you don't get the mana regeneration active portion. You get a little bit more stats, and then a slightly smaller mana pool. But not a bad choice either. Convoy is going to go down here. The Legion team is completely unaware or unwilling to commit to trying to stop that. And the Token of Life does go to Torture reload. 291 gold per minute on the left hero. And going to be going for a Shrunken Head first. Already has the Mighty Blade picked up. A little bit interesting that I think I might have given that to Zetpro on Magnus instead. Reason being, Zetpro gets very, very deep. And if he gets caught out and killed, you really need to have your Magnus available. As Wretched Hag is actually kind of stalking up here. Bubbles is in the vicinity as well. They could easily kill Magnus if they combo their abilities on him. They're going to wait for Jeraziah, though. Has picked up an Astrolabe to complement his Steam Boots, his Bottle, and his Ring of Sorcery. So, looks like Moon Meander still continuing to farm well. 325 gold per minute top on his team. The Bears finished up Mock of Brilliance, and Wild Soul picks up a coat. Says, with all the snow on the ground, it's pretty chilly outside. Puts it on, and all of a sudden going to be taking a lot less damage from magical-based spells. Protective Charm onto Wretched Hag. She's going to engage right here. There's the Haunt onto Magnus. Sonar Scream just going to clean up some creeps as a nice connection with that power throw. Will hit Magnus as well. 9 players in this top lane. Relo not in position just yet. Has a portal on him if he chooses to use it. Still level 10 Wretched Hag. She wants that level 2 Bat Blast so bad that the Bear up in the front lines with the pushing potential of the power throw. All of a sudden the push is on Complexity's side. Magnus just kind of standing in the front lines. I'd actually like to see a Bat Blast go out right here. Make sure that he can't use that PK for a total of 15 seconds. Try to use that Bat Blast on him and the Ophelia creeps and then just push down the tower, but instead Complexity saying, okay, you guys have turtled up a little bit too much. We've given Torture too much time to farm. Gonna have to back up. Tag makes her way into the bottom lane, and we'll start to clean up these creep waves. But Complexity, once again, down 6,800 gold and 3,500 experience against a team that's, by all rights, not even in their league. Pencils and Complexity have scrimmed a lot in the past. They've played a lot in the past, and I don't know that I've ever seen Pencils take a game off of Complexity, let alone a series. So right here, they're looking very good. Losing Flensmeister turned out not to be as big of a deal after all. I talked with Pablo McDad, the captain of Pencils, a little bit earlier today, and said, hey, this is the first game, and it's actually Wild Soul's getting caught out of position. Eruption being channeled, and down he goes. So that's a big kill for the Pencils team. And I talked with Pablo McDad, and I said, hey, this is the first tournament game without Flensmeister. Like, how do you guys feel about going into this game? And he said, you know what? Flens is a great player, but Relo's been our 6th man, and the only reason we weren't using him was because he was playing a lot of WoW, and he's quit WoW. So we're gonna play with him, and we're gonna do better than ever. So that's what he says. And right now, Pencils is looking stronger than I've ever seen them before with that pick on Wild Soul. They're gonna start pushing up this middle lane, possibly looking to take Rex. Now, this is the problem. They're not going to be able to easily take Rex. Even with those pickoffs, the Complexity players are low enough on levels that they're not able to capitalize on Rex just yet. Pencil's late game potential is, I would say it's inferior to Complexity's. Torture certainly has some carry potential, and Magnus, if he gets big enough, can be a real big nuisance in that late game. Tempest, of course, just stays strong throughout the entirety of the game, but without a really strong carry like this Wild Soul or this Wretched Hag, they're not going to be able to contend if Wild Soul and Wretched Hag start to get farmed, which they are still pretty unfarmed, to be honest. 249 and 269 gold per minute, respectively. They're just not able to find the farm. Pencil's doing such a great job of managing their opponent's resources. You can see them in here cleaning up double and triple stacks in the jungle. The Ancients, I mean, that's it. They're relegated to the very, very pushed up lanes right here in the middle and the top, and they're relegated to their Ancients. They can't step foot in their own jungle without fear of being killed, and even when they do step foot in the jungle, like they do right now, they don't find anything because the Pencils team has done a great job of taking their opponent's resources and also defending them, dropping wards of sight all over the place. Make sure that they're able to safely do it without giving up any kills. They do not want to give up any more kills than they already have. 3, they say that's it. That's all they're going to get. So Pencils will continue to just play passive. It can be a little bit boring to watch for observers, but this is the way that Pencils has to execute this. They take down all the outer towers, and they know that they're going to have a resource advantage throughout the rest of the game as long as they play it properly and don't throw team fights. As long as the game keeps going, they're going to keep extending this golden experience advantage just by virtue of being able to farm in more places and minimizing the amount of farm that their opposing team's getting. But Complexity's doing the right thing. They're taking the opportunity when the Pencils team is on the other side of the map, and they're using an eye to actually get some counter warding done. With this counter warding, they will be able to put up their own vision. They also will be able to make sure that the vision from the Pencils team will not always be able to keep them safe, and they might be able to go for a pick-off or two. If they can get that Magnus, if they can get that Tempest down, and then take a team fight, then maybe do a little bit of counter-pushing of their own, take this bottom or this top tower, then they might be able to start getting back into this game. But Pencils just playing so cautious right now. Magnus continuing to level and farm well. 400 gold per minute as Nymphora is going to start to teleport down into this bottom lane. Not going to be a sneaky teleport, just wants to make sure that they're available for the push that might be coming. Wild Soul actually TPing nowhere. Cancels that TP. I don't know what he was doing. I think that was actually an accident, perhaps, as the Complexity team is going to be falling back. They do spawn out the high amount of Hellborn players here with this Ward of Sight. It's a little bit odd to me that a Ward of Sight has not been picked up by Ophelia or Nymphora yet. I know Nymph just finished up that Energizer, but Ophelia finishes up her Barrier Idol. One of these two players needs to pick up an eye. And once they're able to get the counter warding going on for their side, they're going to be in a lot better of a position. Wild Soul going to be spawning out some elementals at the hands of Tempest over here, and Zetpro will be able to escape with that portal key just before the Complexity team pub train arrives. Both these teams playing cautious. They know that they do not want to take a trip to the loser's bracket from the first round, especially Complexity. Your number 2 teams and 2 consecutive HoN Tours, and the most dominant team in Heroes of Newerth for so long. In the last HoN Tour, they dropped their first best-of-3 series to a team other than Trademark Esports, I believe, since the team's creation, at least in the last 4 or 5 months, as they do not want to do that again. It's certainly not Pencils, the number 15 team going into this match. Big push going to be coming out here as Magnus, with his Hellflower, is off way to the side. And the Complexity team playing it very slow. They do not want to get caught out of position and killed in a team fight right here, right now. Already, they're a little bit frustrated. You can see it in the last game as the Bear's going to be caught out right here. Chain reaction as well as Zeal Stun's going out. And Boo Boo will take the fall. Resummoned immediately by Chessie. Bear has picked up boots now as well as his investments of his own to complement his owners. I'd like to see who makes a coat big enough for a Bear as well. They're going to be going in. Hag with the protective charm. Shrunken Head activated by Torture, though. This is perfect. Complexity forces the 10-second Shrunken Head out of Torture. They're going to be able to kill the elemental replicates here, and that was absolutely perfect. They did not waste anything. Protective charm is already going to be up again in 5 seconds, and now Torture does not have a Shrunken Head. Pencils, if they're wise, will actually back up here. They do not want to take this engagement without a Shrunken Head on Torture, but they're not going to back up. They want to make a big play happen. They want to hear that Swedish from Zetpro just screaming. They're going to find Magnus, and will they be able to get him? He's actually going to use the Lava Surge, and B-Kid unfortunately did not have the vision that he needed to land that Song of the Sea. That could have been a huge pick. Very close. 9,000 golden experience advantage here for Pencils. And they're trying to hold on to it as 10 players in the bottom lane are just kind of hanging out. They've given up a little bit of time here. As an Emerald Lightning and Power Throw go out. 9-second Shrunken Head going to be available in 10 more seconds here. And Complexity's kind of lost their window to execute, and as such, they will be backing off. Complexity, they're just trying to find vulnerabilities. They're trying to bait out their opponents. But as both teams do a little bit of counter warding right here, you already saw that the ward from Complexity was spotted out. They're going to go in right here, and Torture going to be caught out. No, there's the power throw. The Emerald Lightning going out. Zepro channeling in the background. Eruption with the Lava Surge. No, actually a really bad Eruption. There's the 3-man Lava Surge, though. And now the Volatile Pod going to be going down. Hellflower being applied to Jereziah. Not going to be enough. Here comes the Shell Surf. No Song of the Sea. The Soul's Bulwark, or Soul's Blessing goes out. There's the Bat Blast catching Magnus and Nymphora. Magnus in some trouble. He's going to be coming back in with the Lava Surge. Elemental Void catching Jereziah, but not going to be enough to take him down just yet. And nobody going down just yet in this team fight. Can it be that both teams are actually going to back off? And after all of that, nobody dies in that team fight. Wow. It's incredible that nobody died in that team fight. All of the ults, all of the items were used, and nobody died. With that, though, they know the Pencils team knows that Complexity is going to have to fall back, and they know they have nowhere to TP to. They're going to try to take this time to do Concord. They're going to need to do it fast. They've got about a 30-second window here where Complexity is going to be healing, and it looks like that's going to be plenty of time here for the Pencils team. Complexity either, once again, not aware, or they're not willing to try to take the fight, knowing that they might not be able to. Kongort goes down, and Torture Reload picks up the Token of Life once again, as well as a Blessed Orb. So going to be working on a Sheepstick of his own here relatively soon. Like Sheepsticks, no matter what hero he's on, Torture, Zephyr, doesn't matter to Relo. I have no doubt that he would have gone for a Sheepstick on Alonia in game number 1 as well if he was given the opportunity. Wretched Hag and Wild Soul on the other side. They're trying to find their farm. Hag up to about 300 gold per minute, and they've been able to retake their side of the map just a little bit once they got that eye. They're still down 10,000 golden experience, but frankly, that's within one team fight of really changing hands majorly. Major change. Probably about 6,000 to 7,000 golden experience can change hands with one team fight here from Complexity. They have to have a very strong win. It can't be a, oh, we took 4 and you guys took 3. It has to be a 4 for nothing or something like that, but they're very well within one team fight still. And of course, the super late game potential lies with Complexity. Carry potential of Torture pales in comparison to that of Wretched Hag and Wild Soul. And Hag finishes up a Hellflower. So with that, going to be able to try to lock down somebody, maybe that Tempest, maybe that Torture before he's able to get items off. As Shrunken Head is finished up on Tempest now as well. The ability to interrupt that is now all but gone. I believe that Bubble's ultimate might be the only thing available to actually interrupt that. And I don't even know, you know what, now that I think about it, I'm not even sure if Bubble's ultimate does interrupt. Seeing as I've never pointed it out before, I have to think that it doesn't, but for some reason the actual fact is escaping me a little bit. Soul's Bulwark picked up on Wild Soul, so items are starting to flow pretty healthy. And, well, Nymphora's going to be TPing in right here. Where is Magnus? He's going to be trying to look for Wretched Hag. Activates the Ghost Marchers, not quite able to get the catch, though. That would have been a huge pick-off to be able to bring down Wretched Hag right there, but unfortunately was not quite able to. Pencil's team starting to push up hard in this bottom lane. Bubbles and Aluna doing their best to try to anti-push, but here's the damage. Protective Charm on Jereziah. The Barrier Idol being activated from Ophelia, and this defensive tower is all of a sudden taking a lot of pressure. Hag is teleported back. Chassis needs to teleport back as well, but in just one push right there, the tower takes about half of its life. All the Ophelia minions are still up. Zepro using Lava Surge, and Zealspin going out as well. Unfortunately, not going to be able to clean anything up just yet. Ophelia wants to keep these minions alive, and as a result, will send that Catman champion home. Skeleton Kings in the background going to be useful to actually try to pin somebody down, namely this Wretched Hag. I believe that those do, in fact, go through Protective Charm. They go through Shrunken Head, so they should go through Protective Charm at least. Pencils, once again, playing this very, very cautious. Know that they have a great advantage. They know they have an opportunity for an upset. The barrier auto activated once again. There is the impalement, and the Hag comes in. She hits the Sonar Scream. They save the tower for now. 5 seconds stun though, and huge eruption with right there. Lava Surge going to be going down, and Aluna takes the first fall. Kelp Field activated on just Magmus, and Sweet Pro just backs on up. Bat Blast going to hit 3. In comes the Shell Surf Song of the Sea. Magmus goes down. Is he going to be buying back? Not just yet. Elemental Void catching 2, but no follow-up. Magmus is not available. Torture going in. Chessie's able to get the kill in the background onto Ophelia. Hag is going to be going in, and this is what Complexity needed. Torture is going to be taking a big fall right here. Not going to be able to escape. The Token of Life going to be bringing him back up in just a second. In fact, actually, Torture is able to escape. What the hell? Oh no, Complexity needed to get that kill. Tempest able to get out of there as well. So a great initiation from the Protective Charm Wretched Hag right there. Able to get the Sonar Scream, breaks up the fight, saves the tower for the time being, and then follows it up with a big 3-man Bat Blast ultimate. Able to take out Magmus and Ophelia very, very quickly. And then, well, able to just secure their way in that team fight. Still down 8,800 gold and 6,000 experience, but they bought themselves some room. They bought themselves some time, and as I've stated multiple times in this game, the later it goes, as long as Complexity is not losing barracks, and as long as the lead is not getting exponentially bigger, as long as it's not 25,000 gold experience, Complexity is looking better in this game. They have the late game potential with the Hag and with the Wild Soul, and although Relo is starting to farm pretty dang well, 362 gold per minute, he just does not have the carry potential that either one of those heroes have. Even though they're down at 300 gold per minute right now, the later this game goes, the stronger they're going to get. And the addition of tower gold is certainly going to be helping out Complexity as well. I mean, take a look at that. 7 towers down for the Pencils team, whereas Complexity, that was their second. When they take these team fights, it's essentially a cache of stored up gold. It's like investing in your future. Your towers are right there just waiting to give up their coffers for the Complexity team, and well, the Hellborn team not looking to stop them just yet. Complexity narrowing the gold lead even more by taking 2 towers and opening up their own opponent's Ancients, and trying to get the advantage from Kongor back just a little bit by taking out those 2 towers. So Complexity having to play just as patient as their opponents, knowing that one false move from either team in this game could decide which team is going to be going down to the losers bracket and which team stays up here in the winners. Wretched Hag continuing to just get her farm on. She wants to be able to finish her Shrunken Head relatively soon here. We'll see if she's able to do it before the next team fight, as she's only about 200 gold off right now. On the other side, Tempest has finished up his Shrunken Head quite a while ago. It'll be interesting to see what he goes for next. And we do have Magmus, Zepro, finishing up his Hellflower, as well as now picking up a Mighty Blade. So he'll be working on a Shrunken Head of his own very, very soon here. It's been a passive game, guys, as you do see the players talking about just a little bit. As Jeraziah pickers, Dragon pickers, TDL pickers. You throw pickers at the end of any hero these days, and it seems like that's a pretty strong insult and affront to your honor. Boo Boo picks up some Ghost Marchers in addition to the Soul's Bulwark that he's had for a while now, and with that, able to easily slap down this tower. Pencil's taking this time to do a little bit of, well, they're trying to clean up the opposing team's jungle, but Complexity, with every passing moment, has taken more and more of this game back. 5,000 gold, 7,000 experience advantage here, but as they knock down their 4th tower and they're working toward their 5th, for some reason the Pencils team does not want to engage. The Token of Life has expired now, so that could be one reason, but the Pencils team now actually taking a look and saying, okay, you guys are up there, Well, we're going to go ahead and go for your bottom lane. Ward of Sight here from Francie. Where's the bound eye? There's no bound eye. So this is great. This is a perfect job from Francie actually getting the Ward of Sight down in a location where it's not likely to be counter-warded. And Hag comes in right there. Burial activated. And a huge Map Blast hitting 2 players. Lava Surge comes in. Elemental Void on 3. Channeling the Eruption and Complexity's into trouble. Soul's Bulwark, or Soul's Blessing goes out. Francie's going to be the first to drop on a Luna. Torture's out there doing so much damage. Sweet Pro's going to take a fall. Torture in the back. He drops as well. And in comes Bubbles. Drops the Shell Surf. Song of the Sea. And they're going to try to follow it up. Nice dodge onto the Zeal Stun for now. Gets the back end of it. Nymphora solo. Tempest going to be able to get out of there with the Portal Key in 1 second. Hag going to come in with the Sonar Scream. Nymphora goes down. Ophelia going to be the next to fall. And this is what Complexity needed. 4 for 1, losing Francie, able to take down everybody else. Zetpro even buying back and not going to be able to come in and get the eruption that he wants. This is where Complexity shines. The patience, the great initiation, able to find exactly where their opponent's vulnerabilities lie and execute, capitalize on their mistakes, and make their vulnerabilities known. Complexity with a perfect example right there of why they are a top team. They can fall behind so far, but in the end, you know they're almost always going to be coming back. Middle tower goes down. The top tower fell as well before that team fight. So that's 6 down for Complexity now. Shrunken Head with the Protector Charm active on Wretched Hag. Actually, just the Protector Charm active. She's finished her Shrunken Head, I should say. Could be a little bit confusing. Demonic Breastplate going to be finished momentarily on Boo Boo Bear. And in fact, it is passed off to his 4-legged friend. Nymphora going to try to do a little bit of warding here. He wants to make sure that the Kongor Pit is warded up thoroughly. Relo finishes up a Sheepstick, but not really making too much of an impact in that last game. Sweet Pro, he used a lot of his piggy bank on buying back there, and as a result, not going to be able to finish up that Shrunken Head anytime soon. Double damage on Wretched Hag for another 30 seconds. Would not be surprised to see coL try to pick a fight with that double damage on Hag, hitting for about 300 damage. Not something to scoff at. And Foreign Magnus going to be teaming up with Ophelia and Tempest. Actually trying to find some vulnerability here in Complexity, but coL, they're playing it safe. They're playing it not taking risks. And as they push up middle lane once again, they're going to be able to put themselves in good Kongor position. This is what this portion of the game is going to come down to. Which team is able to get themselves into a better physical position around Kongor? Who's going to get the better angle of initiation? Who's going to be able to catch somebody out of position? Who's going to be able to spot somebody out with a ward and catch them out with a haunt or a bear with a very nice first hit root? Something like that. Or a lava surge or a sheep stick. Protector Charm onto the bear as he's going to start to work on this tower. Look how fast that tower is starting to drop. Boo Boo Bear just doing so much damage. The red power throw goes out and snipes a few creeps up there. Francie managing his cooldowns well and trying to get the farm where he can. The rest of his team says, holy crap, that is a lot of farm up there. I should probably go take that. And so Bubbles will be making his way over there using that portal key. He's also picked up a Storm Spirit, so always a nice item to have when Hellflowers are an item of choice on the other team. And 4 going to be porting in right here, and Bubbles needs to get out of there, and so he shall. Zetpro goes in with the Lava Surge, not able to quite connect. Oh, initiation going on up here. Wretched Hag takes a Lava Surge. Zetpro will portal key away. Bubbles going to try to run down Nymphora. They will find him with the Hellflower. Auto attacks will be enough to finish him off. Francie tried to get his hands in the honeypot on that one. Not quite able to. Might have been a little bit of distraction, though, as Kongor is now taking a lot of damage. But the Hellborn team, what are they doing? They're being indecisive, and they will back off, leaving Kongor at half life. And if they manage to pick off Magmus right here, in comes the bear, going to be using the Mock. So only Lava Surge is available now to Magmus. He does lose him in the trees. With Nymphora down. Will Complexity look to finish off Kongor as an Abyssal Skull is finished up here on Wild Soul? Oh, there's a ward right here. Where's the ward? Oh, Luna's going to get caught out. Nobody going in just yet. There's Hag, actually. Going to be going in deep. Hellflower being applied onto a Luna. Counter Hellflower, though. The Eruption being canceled. No! He does not get a Lava Surge Eruption off. A nice Emerald Lightning. Elemental Void going to be catching one, but a nice Storm Spirit. Torture taking a lot of damage. Healed up. And the Chain Reaction going to be able to hit. What a Bat Blast going out. Connecting. Torture falls. Tempest is going to be falling shortly thereafter. Magnus comes back in. A nice Lava Surge. He's going to be caught out, though. Haunt being applied onto him. Bubbles is going to be trying to get the damage done. Sweet Pro goes down. Complexity taking the control of this game. Hag comes in, wants to be able to get somebody, but no. Tempest is able to get out of there. Another nice Lava Surge as the second buyback is used there by Magnus. A nice first hit route, though. It's Sweet Pro is caught out of position. The bear will be falling here and will have to be resummoned by Chessie. There it is. But Complexity knows that Tempest Elemental Void is down. They know that the Shrunken Heads are down and Torture is down for another 30 seconds. They're not going to try to capitalize on it, though. Not a bad decision. They could have gone either way right there, but choosing the safer route. 5,000 golden experience up for the Legion team. Complexity playing it safe, though, knowing that they've got this game as long as they don't throw it away. Up 13-6 in terms of hero kills, and with the late game now on their side, Wretched Hag picks up a shield breaker. Going to be able to start working as a carry. I think she might have vendored it, though, because she's got a lot of gold. Yeah, does instead opt for the Slayer. So she's going to be working toward that Savage Mace very, very soon here. Jeraziah picks up a Shaman's Headdress and an Acolyte Staff. So going to be working on a Sheepstick of his own. Bound Eye being transferred off to Aluna. And Jeraziah will pick up the, Torture being caught out right there. Where's the Lava Surge? Not going to matter because the Protective Charm is active. Shrunken Head being activated by Torture. And now Zepro's in some trouble. He has no buyback this time. Down he goes. Beacon able to get the last hit. And that might have just done it, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to try to catch out Torture. Nice Storm Spirit. A huge play right there. Hag's going to be trying to get him in. A nice teleport to home, though. And Torture will be sent back into the fountain. Going to be saved out for now. But with no Magnus in the tower at 25% life here, it's going to be going down very fast. And Pencils in a dire circumstance, down for 40 seconds. Their initiator not going to be available. Resto Stone is picked up by Tempest. They should let the melee ranks drop here and try to stop him at the next set of racks or the Kongor fight when they have double Tempest Elemental Void. But Complexity's not going to give them the chance. They're not going to give them the chance, guys. They're going in for the tower, in for the racks right here. Good knowledge of when these cooldowns are available. And with that, well, looks like they're going to be able to bring down this tower. At least 20 seconds left on the Elemental Void. Tower goes down. Pencil's trying their best to actually turtle up here. The Hellflower being applied onto Torture. Where's Complexity going now? Looks like they're going to be making their way back toward Kongor. And with Complexity retreating toward Kongor, this is where it's all going to come down. All comes down to this, guys. Magnus is back. Double Elemental Void available on Tempest with double Shrunken Head. Wild Soul and Hag are starting to look pretty fearsome. Sheepstick not yet finished up on Jeraziah. Who's going to get caught out? Complexity has the better warding right now. They have knowledge of their opponent's position. With this Illusion Rune, they're able to get even more. The bear going to be making its way up into the melee ranks, choosing not to take the fight at Kongor just yet. Trying to get vision of their opponents wherever they can as the Protective Charm goes out. Might it be enough just right there? Might Boo Boo be able to take down the melee ranks by himself? And it looks like perhaps Lava Surge onto Chessie in the background. Hellflower being applied. Storm Spirit, though, going to be able to save him. A big three-man Bat Blast. Elemental or Emerald Red going to be hitting out. Torture doing a lot of damage. Elemental Void going to be coming out. That's number one, catching two players. Soul's Blessing going off. Here comes number two, going to be catching two players again. Wretched Hag taking a lot of damage, but she's still up. Chessie's still up on Wild. So down goes Tempest. Down goes Torture. GG Well Playeds are coming out in Complexity. Brings it back from the brink, and they take game number 3. They're going to be advancing to winners round 2, saying, you can't stop me here, Pencils. We gave you a shot, but you cannot stop me here. Once more onto the breach, my friends. And Complexity Gaming takes the series. Very well done. It looked scary. It looked downright scary for Complexity Gaming in that series at times. But damn, if they did not pull it out in the end, congratulations to them. They will be moving on to, let's take a look here. They will be playing the winner of Lions Esports Club versus We Are Spies, which appears to still be going on over at HoNcast. Let's actually take a look. Perhaps, I'm not sure. So we will see. But winner of Lions Esports versus We Are Spies, that's going to be coming up either on here at coLcast or HoNcast relatively soon. I'll let you guys know when I do what the next game is going to be. But thank you very much for watching and sticking it out with me in this very long passive series. But damn, guys, congratulations to the Complexity for moving on to Winners Round 1. That's just a Round 1 game. The round of 16. We got more HoN Tour action coming up today and tomorrow and next weekend and the following weekend and the following weekend forever, guys. So be sure to stick right here to twitch.tv/ComplexityHoN coLcast with me, Beef. One more big shout out to S2 Games for making HoN Tour possible and to Complexity Gaming for allowing coLcast to happen. Make sure to head over to ComplexityGaming.com where HoN Tour is on the front page. And make sure to check out the coLHoN Weekly Breakdown over there where I did detail HoN Tour in the last cycle and Complexity's involvement. Going to be releasing another one of those next week. Going to be a little bit shorter. But guys, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to go tweet about this at BeefPotPie1. Make sure to follow me if you have not. Also, let me know if Moonraker was a good movie. But guys, we'll be back in about half an hour with the second series of the day. coLcast with Beef. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere.